Okay, number 5, the right to review financial statements of the project company and, if applicable, the guarantor before investing. Mike, since you've been in institutional finance and investing, why don't you kind of share our approach on this and why this is so critical, despite the fact that almost no other regional centers are providing this?
Yeah, and it comes down to, yes, this is an investment for an immigration benefit. So the EB-5 green card is the main focus. But at the end of the day, you're also just making an $800,000 investment itself. And this investment, although it's typically structured a little bit differently because the main goal is immigration, is still the same as any other private placement that you would be investing in as a retail investor, such as investing in the equity of a real estate development without EB-5. Very similarly. So with the variety of projects out there in the EB-5 industry, some are real estate, some are operational businesses. There's plenty of different choices. It's important to just step back and look at it as, if I was investing my money with the goal of getting my green card and not losing the money, like, what do I need to see? And you want to see as much detail on the financial statements as you can. If the project is already ongoing, great. You can review the construction contract and see that there's a maximum price. You can review the pro forma in the budget and understand what the business plan actually looks like for the project and what the exit is. So it's important just not to take somebody on their word, but to go in, double click, understand what's there. And if a project is already operating and profitable, great. You can see the financial statements and understand how the project is structured. So it's just pretty pictures only go so far. A book of renderings doesn't really tell you how the project's going to perform. But when you dig into the meat of what do the financials look like, what do the comparables look like, you can get to the answer. And unfortunately, not everybody is a financially sophisticated investor that's done this many times. So it's important. A lot of times our investors rely on friends and family members that are in the finance industry to take a second look and things like that. It's challenging in this industry, unfortunately, to find an independent financial representative that's really evaluating these projects on your behalf. I wish there was an easy answer for that. There are some people that issue project reports, but it's a little hard to find. But just in general, it's critical to look at the documents yourself and understand that pretty renderings don't necessarily translate to a successful investment.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really important to just look at the numbers, look at the data. If a project has an entity guaranteeing the repayment of the money, that sounds good, but you've got to look at, okay, what does that entity own? How many assets does it have? How much debt does it have? Is that really something that's going to help increase the likelihood of me getting my money back or not, right? And like Mike said, everyone may not be, very financially sophisticated when it comes to reviewing financial statements, but just the simple question of, okay, I see the project, looks good. Can you send me the financial statements? If the answer is no, we can't, that's bad news, right? That's a red flag, right? Even if you can't understand it, the fact that they're not even willing to share the financial statements, which is a core diligence item in any investment transaction, that's a major red flag and should give you serious pause as to invest in a project like that.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Sam, I was going to say, along with what Mike mentioned, this kind of ties back into one of the first things we talked about, the first right, which is the ability to speak with the sponsors and principals at a regional center. You don't have to be financially savvy to kind of go through the numbers and be able to identify what you might think is a red flag or something that just raises a question in your mind. You shouldn't ever hesitate to ask those questions back to the regional center. And that's what the regional center representatives' jobs are, right? To basically answer those questions and provide you with the comfort that you would want before making any investment. So always be asking questions and let regional centers explain to you about anything that you don't understand within these documents.